Hello, everybody. It's TJ. Welcome to my very first YouTube live stream. It is very exciting, I must say, but also I'm shitting bricks at the same time. So don't expect miracles from my first one. It is what it is. There's two reasons for this impromptu live stream. So first, there is a couple of people missing in New Zealand at the moment, a guy in Wellington and an older woman in Christchurch. And I thought that this may be a good forum to, look at these cases because they're not really ones I can make a video on at the moment because there's not much information. The second reason is because I have a live stream coming up, an interview with Anthony Greeno on July the 23rd, 2 p.m. New Zealand time. And we're going to be talking about Delphi and asking him some questions. And I wanted to make sure that I had the live stream sorted out before that happens. So hopefully nothing goes wrong because that would be embarrassing. So bit of a practice run. So first I want to look at a case that's happening at Wellington, New Zealand. Now, I'm looking at newshub.co.nz. Police extremely concerned for safety of Wellington man missing almost a week. This was on the 16th of the 7th. I could only find there's a few articles, but they all say the exact same thing, and that is, they say bugger all, really. So let's take a look. Police in Wellington are extremely concerned for the safety of a local man who has been missing for almost a week. Sandy Calkin, 30, was last seen by his friends on Courtney Place in the city's party precinct at around 1 a.m. on Saturday, July the 10th. And we'll take a look at the map in a minute. A short time later, he was captured on CCTV walking down Queen's Wharf near Shed 6. He has not been seen or heard from since. Calkin is described as being roughly 170 centimetres tall, which is about 5'7", and of slim build. He was last seen in a maroon hoodie and blue jeans. He was carrying a backpack at the time of his disappearance, which we will be able to see in the footage up here, I think you can tell. His family are also extremely worried about him, and anyone with information is urged to call 111 and use the file number 210-712-3425. Like I said, that's, I don't have much on this guy, but let's have a wee look at this map. So Courtney Place, down here, I've never been to Wellington, so I'm not overly familiar with it, but apparently this is the party district. And then he was seen walking along Queen's Wharf, which is here. I don't know where Shed 6 is, so I'm not quite sure exactly what the route was that he took, but very, very sad. And this quite often happens in New Zealand with missing people. Some cases seem to get very little attention, or they get, the same little blurb put on a few different outlets, to read. And then some cases mysteriously get shitloads of media. And I don't know what the difference is or why, but it is the way it is. The next case, though, I wanted to talk about is quite terrifying. And this is about a missing 85-year-old Shirley Warrington, and the desperate things, well, the desperate way people are trying to find her. So this is from nzherald.co.nz. Missing 85-year-old Shirley Warrington's husband desperate to help find her. And this case is a bit of a odd case. It has some twists and turns. So luckily I got a couple of good articles that I was able to read. The elderly husband of missing Christchurch woman Shirley Warrington is desperately trying to remember the last evening he spent with his wife. Police yesterday suspended the search for the 85-year-old Burwood woman after 3 days and 4 nights of intensive searching in Ferrymead turned up no trace. of her. Shirley's husband, Wally Warrington, who was with his wife on the night she went missing, is currently in hospital and is desperately trying to help police retrace their steps on Saturday, their granddaughter Alicia Hoffman said. Wally is still in hospital and is in shock, trying to remember what happened, said Hoffman. Each day, something new comes to light as Wally remembers something else, which is why the story has changed and there has been some confusion. And there has been a little confusion. We've had one story come out on one news, and then a different story will come out, and then people will add a bit more to each story, and you get God knows what happening, and no one for a little while there knew what was going on. So I'm glad that it sort of settled itself down and the truth of what actually has been happening is coming out. They had travelled from their home in Burwood to Rolleston on Saturday for reasons still unknown to the family. And Rolleston's just a little way out of Christchurch. Hoffman said it was hard to say why they had gone. Unless Nan thought of someone she used to know who lived there, and so they then headed that way, she said. Wally, also in his 80s, had been driving. The couple were stopped by police on Main South Road in Rolleston about 7:30 p.m. after a patrol noticed the vehicle's lights were on high beam. They were also driving slow. The Warringtons then drove to Ferrymead. CCTV footage captured their car at about 8:30 p.m. with Shirley and Wally inside. They hadn't been to Rolleston in a long time, which is how we think they had gotten lost on their way home and ended up in Ferrymead, said Hoffman. At 10:20 p.m., footage of the car showed just one person inside. The family thinks when they got to Ferrymead, Shirley had gone for a walk and wandered off. And I'll give you a little map, look at a map about where Ferrymead is. So this is Heathcote Valley here, and Ferrymead is around here. That's where the Ferrymead Heritage Park is. If we have a look here. Hi, Zapton. Good to have you in the stream. So Heathcote Valley and Ferrymead, this is the sort of area, I guess, they're wanting everyone to check out. So recently, she had more frequently been showing signs of dementia, which is a scary thought. We were trying to figure this out prior to her disappearance, but Nan is very independent and stubborn. Detective Senior Sergeant Damon Wells said it was believed Wally drove around trying to find Shirley with no luck. He thought they had possibly been to Ferrymead Historic Park. So it sounds like Wally is quite confused himself about where they went that night and when she was in the car and where she got out of the car. And it sounds like he may be suffering from some sort of dementia, or I don't know. And then I ask, why are these people driving? That's, just my opinion. If they're too old and they're getting dementia, why should they be driving? It's been quite traumatic for him. His recollection has helped us locate an area she could be. He's really concerned about her. Now the police search has been called off, and they were hoping the public would help to bring Shirley home. And I know this has been all over Facebook for the last week. If you are in New Zealand and on Facebook, there's no way that you would have missed this case. We have been going out every day to look for her, but now are truly relying on the public to check around their homes and properties, even out in their paddocks. And of course, any other properties you have around and about, bush, anything that someone could be hidden in. The public is our best shot now. It's such a big region and she could be anywhere, said Hoffman. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. Hoffman also expressed how grateful she and her family, including her mum and Shirley's daughter Karen, were for the public support in the search for Shirley. I know there was lots of private citizens that have started to go search on their own as well, because everyone really wants to find her. It has been extremely cold in New Zealand. In Christchurch here, we've had -4 to -5 degrees. That's cold. So thinking of this poor, frail woman in her 80s out in that weather for the last week or so, very, very scary. It is overwhelming how the city has bonded together to try and bring her home, she said. They are helping us push further every day. If you have information that could help the case, phone 111 and quote file number 210711/8724. Police will continue to identify and follow up new lines of inquiry. So I do have another article, mainly from her family, to tell us a wee bit more. And it's great because any information we can get is going to help us know what to look for. But very sad. Stuff.co.nz, July 5th, so just days. Okay, I don't know why the sound's... Oh, it's muted. That helps, doesn't it? Let's try that again, guys. Hi, Tasha. Thanks for joining. That was a very, very sad, almost brought tears to my eyes. So on stuff.co.nz, you have to face facts. Missing Christchurch woman's family baffled by her disappearance. And this was a couple of days ago. For Karen Colwell, the nights are the worst. In her quiet moments, she visualizes her missing mother, 85-year-old Shirley Warrington, alone and cold. At night, it hits you more. It's those quiet moments. Then at 6 a.m., I feel I've got to get busy, try to keep it together. You don't think this is going to happen to you. She should be at home safe. Absolutely. It must be absolutely terrifying. Warrington, who gets confused but has not been diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, is believed to have gone missing in the Ferrymead area on Saturday night. Police suspended their extensive search late on Tuesday night and dropped flyers around the Ferrymead area on Wednesday. And we'll just take a quick look at the map again. So this is this is Ferrymead Heritage Park and the Heathcote Valley, which I think they're sort of looking all around this area. Cole and her daughter Alicia have been out every day joining a list of volunteers looking for the pensioner. Colville said it was astonishing that someone could just disappear. I'm visualizing her wandering around a paddock. She might have moved ahead of the searchers. It's so sad. After 3 days of hoping, reality is starting to bite. The nights are cold, so cold. I want so much for her to be alive, but you have to face facts. So that's a bit sad. It sounds like her family are, thinking that might not come out so good. Warrington lived with her husband of 10 years, Wally Warrington, a retired butcher in Burwood. Colville said they doted on each other, with Wally treating her mother like a princess. He did the cooking and tried to make her life easy. Oh, that's so cute. Police have had difficulty piecing together exactly what happened on Saturday night. partly due to Wally's traumatized state and his faulty recall. Yeah, must be just terrible for him. They've driven around the area with him, and he has remembered sounds, fences, and old buildings that suggest the Ferry Road area, which we looked at. The couple do not appear to have gone to Sumner, and they definitely did not drive to Littleton. I'm not sure how they can rely on any of his information when he's being so forgetful and so vague. I don't know. It's known the couple had left home by 6 p.m. on Saturday. It appears they decided to drive to Burnham because Warrington was convinced someone was waiting for them there. Her brothers were in the army and her family lived in Whedons alongside the railway line. By 7 p.m. on Saturday, police had been alerted by family and found the couple in Rolleston where an officer spoke to them. They told the constable they had found the person they had gone to see. The officer gave them directions back to Christchurch and followed them for a short time. The couple then appeared to have got lost, ending up on Ferry Road and then turning right at the Dyers Road roundabout towards the Littleton Tunnel about 8:30 p.m. Crazy. It seems Warrington Shirley got out of the car in Ferrymead to seek help with directions. Right, so now I understand why she got out of the car, because with all the articles that I've read, I had no reason for her to get out of the car. It just seemed odd. Neither she nor Wally had cell phones, and the car's GPS system was switched off. That helps. Warrington did not return, and Wally apparently fell asleep and then began driving around looking for her. I still say I don't know why either of these two, if they did have licenses. The next confirmed sighting of the car was at 10:19 p.m. at the junction of Bridle Path and Ferry Roads, then 10 minutes later in Morehouse Ave. Warrington was not in the car, and Wally was seen on Pages Road about 8:30 a.m., after which he drove home. So it sounds like Shirley got out of the car to ask for directions after they were lost. He fell asleep while waiting for her, so she must have been gone for a long time. And then when he woke up, he began driving around looking for her, but he's definitely not looking in the right places, so I'm not quite sure how successful he was going to be. Detective Senior Sergeant Damon Wells said about 40 staff, several dogs and drones had been involved in the search. And so you can see they've really been searching extensively. I just don't understand where she could be. It doesn't make sense. So, yeah, they've searched. They've done shitloads of searching. So I don't understand where she could be. It makes no sense to me. There was nowhere else we could reasonably search. Anywhere else would just be a guess. Warrington was stubborn and resourceful, and it would be wrong to think she could not have gone far. Okay, so they think that perhaps she could actually get quite a ways. A few weeks ago, an 80-year-old in Springfield decided to go for a walk at midnight and was found at 7 a.m. in Oxford, 30 kilometres away. I'm not quite sure how much that is in miles. The cold nights were of major concern, but it was still entirely possible the missing woman would turn up alive. He encouraged the public to keep an eye out, especially over the weekend when people would be out and about. Warrington turned 85 on June the 12th. After school, she trained as a seamstress and then married. She had 4 children. Good on her. Colville remembered her mother staying up all night to finish her wedding dress, and her bridesmaids' dresses. The mother was stubbornly independent, and when they tried to get her to see a doctor, she was resistant. She said, although she had slowed down in recent years, she had always been very active, keen on gardening, and interested in her grandchildren. Physically, she doesn't do much these days. Her mother and Wally, sit on their two-seater holding hands and doing crossword puzzles. That is such a cute thought. Absolutely, so cute. So I don't know what happened to this lady or where she could possibly be. I mean, they have done a huge search for her, and there's just no sign of her. Like, we haven't heard any mention of clothing being found or a shoe being found or footsteps or anything. She's just vanished, and it's been over a week, so it's quite scary. So hi, Zapton and Tasha. Where are you guys from? How did you find New Zealand Mysteries? I do want to know from people if this is a forum that they think is good for some cases, because if that's the case, I could do it regularly, and I'm looking for another case at the moment. Yeah, if it works out, there's... Okay. So, hi, Jamie. Hi, Jay. Oh, thank you so much. It's nice to hear that people actually watch my stuff and actually like it. I'm actually going to move on to another case. And it's one that's from a while ago, but I don't know if there's enough information to do the video. So I thought if we do this on this forum and see how it goes. So I'm going to share. I've got to remember that I have to show you guys what I'm looking at. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Right, there we've got it. So this is from stuff.co.nz. Family desperate to hear from Joseph Webb, missing for more than a month. This was August 2019. Hey, Jamie. Have you heard if the missing teen Georgina missing has been found? No, I have not, actually. I'm going to write her name down and have a look. Hi, Tasha. You're from Auckland? Nice. I'm based in Christchurch. So let's take a look at this one. The family of a missing for more than a month are desperate to hear from him. Joseph Webb, 24, went missing around Kohi Point, a scenic walking track in Whakatane, and hasn't been seen since July the 23rd. On Tuesday, police search and rescue volunteers and specialist dogs went back to look for signs of Webb, but they didn't find anything. A statement from Webb's family said they were desperate to hear from him, even just find out about his well-being. You know, I just can't imagine being a parent. Yeah. Oh, hi, Zapton, you're from the USA? Nice. I have a lot of fans from the USA, so I appreciate them all. So taking a look at this, so it must be up around here. I've never been up to Whakatane, so I cannot tell you. I don't travel far, or haven't travelled far. His family said Joseph is a person who will help anybody. If he helped you in any way, please let the police know. We just want to know that he is okay. So it looks like police are looking for information. If someone saw someone wearing this clothing at the Whakatane heads. Webb's mother, Tina Newton, had previously said he was a spiritual nature lover who had talked about wanting to go bush before. Police said the last confirmed sighting of Webb was at Whakatane Heads on Tuesday, July 23rd, between 2:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. Shall we go to maps and see if we can find out where this place is? I'm not really good at using stuff like maps. So it might not be a go. I might not be able to figure it out. Destination. No. I'll come back to that shortly. They also released photos of clothing he was wearing earlier in the day when he went to the warehouse, and said CCTV footage captured him passing the Coast Guard building. So now at least we can get an idea of what he was wearing. And I think that's the style there. Webb had short dark hair and a tamuku on his upper left arm, which is a Māori tattoo. 2 items of his clothing were found discarded on the beach. Anyone who was at the heads on 23rd of July, especially those who saw a person wearing that clothing, is asked to contact Whakatane police to help piece together Joseph's movements. Those giving information can ring 105 and quote file number 190724/0842. Very scary for the family. Again, we'll go to another one from his family, it looks like. This is from the nzherald.co.nz. Mum and siblings of missing Whakatane man Joseph Webb remain positive. I need a drink. The mother of a Whakatane man missing for almost a week just wants her lovely, caring and kind son back home. Joseph Webb was last seen a week ago walking around the Whakatane coastline at Kohi Point. I'm going to go and look for it. Whakatane or Kohi Point. Should I put in that, I usually do the stuff when people aren't watching. It's a bit easier. Let's get a map. Okay, hopefully this will show us where they are talking about. No, that's not right at all. Okay. Dear. Webb's mother, Tina Newton, told the Rotorua Daily Post, while the past few days had been exhausting, she and Joseph's 3 siblings remained positive he would be found. She says, we're a pretty tight-knit family, and we've definitely had our up and down moments since Joseph went missing, she said. But we lean on each other and bounce off each other every day. You can see his tamuku on his tattoo there. For the past 5 days, search teams including trained search dogs, surf club volunteers, Coast Guard volunteers, helicopters and drones have been scouring the wider Kohi Point area where Webb was last seen. We've had so many friends and family join in the search. Some of these people we hadn't seen for years, but when they heard Joseph was missing, they came to help out, which is pretty cool. Many had travelled large distances to be in Whakatane. The support has been overwhelming, she said. Newton said she had positively identified pieces of clothing belonging to Joseph that had been found on the beach, but believed they had been placed there by walkers who had found them somewhere in the bush, which makes sense, because if I was walking around somewhere and I found a bit of clothing, I'm likely to pick it up and put it on a fence or something. Webb had dealt with bouts of depression in the past, and Newton believes he may have gone into bush in an effort to get himself better, and then obviously got into trouble. While search and rescue teams today scaled back their search in the area Webb was last seen, family, friends and police have vowed to continue. Police had a drone up there today and are expecting a bigger one with more capability tomorrow. We are also looking in other areas that were special to Joseph. Newton urged the public to keep an eye out for her son. She said, it might be the smallest thing, but I ask anyone who sees anything to contact police. Police have also urged anyone who walked the Kohi Point track on Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday and who may have seen Webb to get in touch. Webb is described as medium build with short dark hair and a short cut moustache. He has a tamuku on his left upper arm, which we've seen, and was wearing dark coloured track pants when he was last seen. Anyone with information can call police on 105 and quote the number 190724/0842. His mum, Tina, said, "I just want my son home. He's so very loved and very missed." That's what I did when I decided that I wanted to cover this. This is why I did it, because of the families. I just can't imagine losing a loved one and not knowing what happened to them, where they are. It would just be excruciating. It breaks my heart. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this live stream is I wanted to face my fear, I guess. I know I've got that interview coming up on the 23rd of July with Anthony Greeno for some Delphi talk and to ask him some questions, because there's quite a bit that I'm unsure of. And I didn't want that to be fucked up, really. I wanted to just bite the bullet and jump on here and just do a live. So I've done it, and I know what works and what doesn't and how to do it. And tell me, can you guys hear me and see me okay? So I definitely think I've got it right. And like I say, if this is a forum that you'd like to see more often, maybe on a weekly basis or something like that, where we can sit and discuss some cases that are in the news, perhaps, because there's a lot going on in New Zealand at the moment, that's for sure. Hi, Gary. It's awesome to see you. Is there Miss Rodriguez? Hi. So there was a missing teenager. I'm just going to go and take a look. Someone mentioned a missing teenager, Georgina. So I might just take a look at that and see if we can find out. Hey, Gary, thank you for coming. So Georgina, I don't know, missing Georgina. No. I don't even have missing Georgina in New Zealand, maybe? Okay, I do have an article here, and I think that's the one that you were looking at, so we'll have a wee look. You found me through the Cursor Jensen case, Jamie? Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Kat Zapton says it's working well. Good video and audio. Excellent. I really appreciate you guys' help and turning up, because, you know, sometimes you think, I'll do my first live and no one will turn up, and that would be really embarrassing. So I'm glad you guys are all good. So I've got this. Someone mentioned this Georgina before, and I think this might be the one. Oh, you're sub to Greeno too. Oh, that's excellent. So I hope you guys will come to the interview with Greeno. I'm quite excited about it, because he's a big fish to me, and, you know, bigger than me. He looked at my Delphi video that I've just done and just said, good video. And I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I have a lot of questions about Delphi. There's a lot of things that really confuse me, and I'm hoping that talking to him will be able to, you know, work things out and get things right in my head, because that case just does my head in. So we do have this here, and I wonder if this is what you were talking about. Police searching for missing 16-year-old after she failed to arrive in Taranaki at the weekend. But this was July 7th. So I'm not sure. Police are seeking information on the whereabouts of a 16-year-old girl who was due to arrive in Taranaki at the weekend. A post on the Manawatu Taranaki Whanganui Ruapehu Police Facebook, say that fast 10 times, said police were trying to locate a girl by the name of Georgina after she didn't arrive in the region as expected. Police and her family have concerns for her well-being, and we are very keen to know if she's okay. A police media spokesperson said it was understood she'd previously been in Auckland. Any information, call 111 and quote file number 210-703-1566. You know, in New Zealand, I think I've said it before, we don't really have a lot of places to look. I mean, there's just not enough. What I wanted to do while we were here is just show you the police missing persons page. It's called the missing persons list. And there's only a few people on this list, but we'll have a wee look at them. There is a lot of people that aren't on the list. It's said that there's over 400 people that go missing in New Zealand in each year. 99 or 97% or something stupid like that. They're all found. But there's about 100 that are missing for a very long time. So I thought we'd just take a look at the people that are on here. So Adrianus Burkhardt, date of disappearance, 8th of July, 2020, from Whangarei. For the circumstances, Adrianus Burkhardt has not been heard from since 8th of July, 2020. Police and family have concerns for Mr. Burkhardt's welfare. If you have any information regarding this person, please contact New Zealand Police and quote reference number 200-709/9372. Yeah, Gary, it is hard to track teenagers. Sometimes they don't want to be found. I know that for personal experience. I've been a teenager and having them. Everyone in New Zealand, at least, is going to know the case of Ilwa Roland. I've done a video on this guy and it's just heartbreaking. Date of disappearance, 6th of March, 2020. Birkenhead, which is in Auckland, the location. Circumstances. Ilwa is an exchange student from France. He was last seen on 6th of March, 2020. Police are appealing to the public for any sightings or information regarding Roland. Reference number 200-310/8987. Now, this blows my mind. He went missing in the Piha area, which is up near Auckland in the North Island, and quite a few people have gone missing in that area. But he was supposedly going to the beach. They've seen him going on a train. They've got some CCTV footage and that. And then after that, nothing. And again, there's no footprints, there's no clothing found. Obviously, his body's not found. So where the hell did he go? The horrible thing is that he's here as an exchange student from France. So his family are back in France. And March 2020 was when our lockdown started because of the COVID virus, and that meant that his family could not come over and help search for them. They had to do it from over there, which I just find I just couldn't imagine how hard it would be for these guys. No, they didn't have any video on the trains, Gary. They just had him on CCTV walking through the train station. So that's how they knew that he'd gone through there. It is very sad. It is very sad. And he's just vanished. And we can't here in New Zealand understand how he can just vanish. Julian Varley. Now, I know that his sister is on our New Zealand Mysteries Facebook page, and she tirelessly shares her brother's story across Facebook all the time because she is so desperate to find this guy. So, date of disappearance, 23rd of January, 2020. Location, Tauranga. Circumstances. Julian Varley has been missing from the Tauranga area since January 2020. If you have any information regarding his disappearance, reference number 200-128/0613. But I do have a video of this, and we do have CCTV footage in there of what he was wearing on the day that he went missing, and a lot more information about what happened. Hi, Denitsa. Welcome. Nice of you to pop by. I think I've seen you in First Responder Media's chat from my recollection. Awesome to have you by. This is my first ever chat, so first ever live stream. Catherine, you made it. It's great to see you. So we're just going over a few cases in the police missing page at the moment. This person, Michael Murdoch, date of disappearance 26th of September 2019. And the circumstances say Michael Murdoch has been missing since 26th September 2019 from Ngaruawahia. If you have any information regarding his whereabouts, please get in touch by calling 105, reference number 191001960. And this case here, I've looked into it to do a video, but there hasn't been enough information to do a video. So perhaps I could cover his case in another live. Whaka Ori, thank you for coming. Don't they use cell phones tracking for missing persons or just murder investigations? No, I think the police would have used cell phones for tracking, whether the cell phone was turned off or whether he had it that day or, who knows, but I'm sure they would have. So, yeah, Michael Murdoch is definitely a case I might cover on another live because there's not enough information for a video. Joseph Webb, who we have just covered. Here's a good photo. Date of disappearance, 23rd of July, 2019. For the circumstances, police are appealing for the public's help to locate 24-year-old Joseph Webb. He was last seen at Kohi Point in Whakatane about 3 p.m. on Tuesday, the 23rd of July. Joseph is of medium build with short dark hair. He has a tamoko on his upper left arm, which is a Maori tribal tattoo. And he may be wearing dark-coloured track pants. If you know anything, call on 105, file number 190-724/0842. Gary says, in New Zealand, people are getting the precious jade there. I don't if it's found on the beaches in the mountains. I'm not sure. I don't actually know much about jade or where it's found or anything. So, all right. Sorry. I'm a vapor, especially when I'm a bit nervous. I've got to have my vape. But it's better than my 30-day smoking habit that I used to have. All right. This one is really close to my heart, Jessica Boyce. I have done I think it's about an hour-long video on her case. I've also chatted to her cousin in a video as well, and he's told me a lot about her and the case and everything. It's very, 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 very sad. Jessica Boyce, date of disappearance, 19th of March, 2019, from Renwick, which is in Marlborough at the top of the South Island. She's of slim build, 158 centimetres. Circumstances. 27-year-old Jessica Boyce was last seen on Tuesday, the 19th of March, 2019, in Renwick, Marlborough. She was driving a red Holden Rodeo ute, which was actually her mum's. The vehicle was located at Lake Chalice Car Park on Friday, the 22nd of March, 2019. Reference number 190322/7217. A lot went on in this case. She goes missing, and then the car's found miles and miles away, or kilometres away, I should say, and abandoned in a car park. Her phone was still in there. There were other things like her cigarettes were still in the car, and there ain't no way that she would leave those behind. From all the videos that we've done and the talking I've done to the cousin, I think the police know who done this, or it's sort of a little community down there, a drug community, and I think they're looking at these people, but maybe they just don't have that evidence that they need right now. I know that the police did say at some point that they are waiting for forensic evidence to come back from the UK. So I don't know what that means or what it could be. Let's hope when it comes back it actually points to somebody and they can find who is responsible for her going missing, because it's terrible. Then I'll keep you updated on that case, or most cases. Let's take a look at Lawrence. I don't know how to say his name, Gokon Wu Lawrence, went missing on the 12th of March 2019. From Auckland, 178 centimetres and medium build, he wears glasses. For the circumstances, 22-year-old Gokon Wu, also known as Lawrence Wu, was last seen on March 10, 2019 on Sainsbury Road, St Luke's, Auckland. His car was located later on March 12th at the Piha Beach car park. 190312/9059 is the reference number. And again, we heard about Piha. So many people have gone missing around Piha. I don't know whether there's a serial killer there or whether there's aliens there or a big black hole or something, but heaps of people seem to be going missing. Catherine Scott, please be holding their cards close until they have enough evidence. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. They mentioned this forensic evidence waiting to come back, and I think that once that gets back, we might actually see some movement on that case. And I really hope, after talking with her cousin for so long and knowing so much about the case, it really eats at my heart. Most of them do, though. Jai Matthews, Piha Beach is very rough and dangerous. It is. Gary, in New Zealand, some areas food is delivered, flyers to the stores would be good. There are people that I used to talk to, had people that would go stay there like an art community, but small scale. Okay. All right. This one is quite sad. Teresa Ehrlich, 4th of February 2018. She's a Māori and she went missing from Kaitaia. Teresa Ehrlich was last seen hitchhiking on the 4th of February 2018 in Awanui, far north. Miss Ehrlich was wearing a bright yellow jacket and 3/4 black pants. It is believed she was heading south to Kaio Kerikeri area, but it also had mentioned wanting to go to Auckland and Wellington. Reference number for this 1802 08/6005. You can actually look. And I don't want to say anything out of sorts or the wrong thing, but I think she may have been learning delayed a little bit from what I heard, but don't quote me on that because I don't want to say that if it's not true. There's so many missing for such a small country, you know what I mean? Leonie Emery. Date of disappearance, 9th of January 2018. And what a beautiful young lady. Māori, and it was in Auckland that she went missing. Leonie has not been in contact with family since January 2018. She was last seen in Paeroa on the 28th of the 2nd, 2018. That's all the information they give us. Reference number 190222/9022 if you see. I know, Catherine, there's just so many. And these are only a few that are on this website. You know what I mean? There's nearly 100 others out there that are missing as well. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, really. Marie Wilkins. This is sad, an elder lady. So Marie Wilkins, she went missing on the 7th of November 2017 from Whangateo, Auckland. 85-year-old Marie Wilkins was last seen at Lee Cottage Residential Care Centre on 7th November 2017. So obviously she was in some sort of rest home. If you know anything, reference number 171108/1848. I know. There's so many. It's just scary, like how many. And the problem I find is, at least in America, say I was going to do a story over in America and I would research articles, I would be able to find 200 articles and that'd all be different. So I'd have like my pick of articles to go from. But in New Zealand, we only have 2 or 3 news outlets, and if they don't want to cover the case, then there's not much information to go by. So it makes it really difficult. Catherine Scott, how on earth do elderly people go missing? Why are they not being cared for? I guess she escaped. I don't know. Some rest times, their residents can go out for walks and stuff. Maybe she just went out for a walk and, who knows? I don't know. But not good. Anyway, let's continue. Ethel Turner. The thing is with this, you'd think that the New Zealand police would give more circumstances or, describe more about how they went missing. That is how people can help find them. But if they don't give us enough information, it sort of doesn't help. So he went missing on the 11th of July, 2017 from Nelson. He's of slim build. For the circumstances, Ethel Turner, aged 62 years, was last seen at Nelson Hospital on the 11th of July, 2017. I read somewhere that he just walked out. Reference number 181116/6851 if you know anything. Tasha, and we never hear about them till now. Yeah. They're not on the news very often. And you know what? That missing lady, Shirley Warrington from Christchurch, I would think that's a major story. But I watched the news last night and she was in like the last story before sport or something, and it's like, why isn't this the first story of your news broadcast rather than your last story? And the news outlets like TV don't usually cover missing persons cases at all. So that really pisses me off to no end. And people just don't want their loved one's case forgotten, because if it's forgotten, then no one's looking for them, and that must be a horrible feeling. Richard Hankley. He went missing on the 25th of December 2015. He is European, from Christchurch, 184 centimetres, often wears a beanie or hat. Richard was last spoken to on Christmas Day, 25th of December 2015, and has not been seen or heard from since. That's terrible. Christmas Day every year, his family are going to think of him. So that's really terrible. Catherine, can't stop thinking about Shirley. Terrible. It's not on the news anymore. I covered Shirley at the beginning of the live stream, so you might have to go back and have a look. I did manage to find a couple of good articles, but there's no new news. They've called off the search. I think her family is still looking, but yeah, very unnerving on what could have happened to her. The story's weird. Okay, Mike Breckenridge and John Breckenridge. I did do a video on these guys, so I'll just show you what I mean, because they're both connected. They went missing together. So it was 13th of March 2015 from Invercargill. John was last seen in the Catlin, Southland on 16th of March 2015 with stepson Mike Breckenridge. Mike was aged 11 at the time, was taken from James Hargest High School in Invercargill by John. On May the 6th, 2015, the vehicle John and Mike had been travelling in was located off the Catlin's coast. And I mean, it was found off a cliff in the water. And apparently it was so degraded, the car, it was so rusted out and everything, in such a bad state that they couldn't even tell if bodies had been in there, because if bodies had been in there, then they probably would have floated away. No bodies ever came back up. There was a lot of bush nearby, so people wondered whether he'd thrown the car over the side or, whatever, and gone bush, but there was no sign of them in the bush. There's no sign of them leaving the country. So, yeah, a big mystery, this one. But I do have a video of that. Jamie Gray agreed, we often just have a single photo and a name, and often are not even on the police missing persons list. No locations or CCTV or anything. But if any info, it comes up after the rugby. Yeah, did right. They do not focus on missing persons in New Zealand at all. It's like the last thing on their mind. It's very, very sad. So this guy, Peter Tupulaga, Peter, not going to say his second name because I'll butcher it. This young man, 12th of July 2014, he went missing. He's a Samoan, missing from Hutt Valley. He's 175 centimetres tall. Mr. Talalele was discharged from Hutt Hospital on the Saturday, 12th of July at around 7 p.m. Police believe that he returned to his home address in Petone, but has not been since. Oh, the scary thing is he has medical needs that require regular supervision, and there are fears for his safety as this behaviour is out of character for him. Reference number 140715/4460. Very, very sad, that one, especially if he needs supervision because of medical needs. Yeah, you're right, Gary. They always come last in the news broadcast, which is terrible. William Carey Blair. Gary says, I don't watch TV very often, so I see my news, follow people like TJ. I appreciate that you do as well, Gary. So William Carey Blair, date of disappearance, 8th of March, 2014. He's a European. Location, Marlborough Sounds, which is at the top of the South Island. Medium build. William Carey Blair left Marlborough Sounds in a 9-metre Senator aluminium boat at approximately 4 p.m. on Saturday, 8th of March, 2014. The boat was later located drifting off the coast of New Plymouth without Mr. Blair. His whereabouts are still unknown. Reference 140311/0308 if you have any information about Carey or William Carey Blair. Catherine Scott, if you don't keep their memory alive, they will be forgotten. Yeah, I know. I don't want people to be forgotten. That's, the whole reason I do this. And I just keep continuing and continuing. People probably get sick of me posting the same stuff over and over again. But I don't know. I feel for these families, and I don't want their loved ones to be forgotten. So Christian Ulfpreen, date of disappearance 25th of February 2014, a European, lost in the Nelson Lakes National Park. Last seen tramping the Travis Saddle in the Nelson Lakes National Park. And I think that this guy is from another country, like a tourist, I imagine. Reference number 140317/7779. I'm really happy at the moment that I'm getting lots of support from Facebook and lots of support from YouTube. So it's great that people from both of there can come together. I was originally going to try and stream this on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, but apparently you can't do that when you're using the free version of StreamYard. You have to pay to get their next level, and I can't do that. So, oh well, we work at what we've got. Renee Westwang, date of disappearance 28th of August 2011. He's a European and went missing from Lake Hawea. Renee is from Germany and was working in Queenstown, New Zealand. Renee is from Germany and was working as a chef in Queenstown. He was kayaking on the lake when he disappeared. The kayak has since been recovered from the lake. Oh, that's awful. Reference number 110901/3270. So it's quite a few missing people from overseas coming to New Zealand and then ending up gone, which is quite sad. Hi, little Pookie. Thanks for joining us. I'm not going to be on too much longer, but I'm just going through the missing persons list for the New Zealand Police and having a look at the people on there. Tourists go missing a lot on the walking tracks. 2 tourists near Te Anau went missing and were found months later after the winter when their snow melted and their bodies were found. Yeah. New Zealand dollars don't go far in US dollars. No, they don't. There's a huge difference, Jamie, I know. Okay, let's look at Troy Liddington. If my computer will do it, here we go. Date of disappearance, 13th of October 2010. He is a Māori and he went missing from the Kaipara district. 179 centimetres tall and medium build. Troy told the people he was staying with that he was going for a walk in the Waipawa forest late afternoon, Tuesday, 13th of October 2010. He went outside and hasn't been seen since. Number 101018/6199 if you have any information. It is Jai, so sad having all these people in our country missing. And this, these people on the police missing persons list is only a fraction of the people that are missing. I'm not sure why every single missing person in New Zealand isn't on this list. There should be a list, which everyone. So I don't understand what the protocols are or policies for putting someone on this list. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the next one. Gafatasi Samuelo. Date of disappearance, 2nd of October 2009. Samoan. Location, Airedale Street, Auckland. His height, 176 centimetres and medium build. Distinguishing features, he has a tattoo on left shoulder, upper arm of Chinese characters. Circumstances. Gafatasi was last seen at LifeWise Mission in Airedale Street, Auckland. He is also known by the names of Gaffer and Tassi. He is known to frequent the area of Grafton Bridge, Auckland Domain, and missions within Auckland City. So a homeless person, maybe this guy sounds like, which again is also very sad. They're all very sad. Tasha, definitely, and not hearing about it on a wider scale. No, not at all. Here for our fans in the USA, Peter Dennis O'Brien, date of disappearance 4th of April 2009. He's a European and went missing from America. Peter O'Brien was last known to be residing in Boise, Idaho. He has not been seen since the 4th of April 2009 when he failed to collect his 2 sons. So if you know people in Boise, Idaho, have a look around. Reference 090-414/8406. Oh, thank you, Tasha. I appreciate that. Okay, we've got Matthew Alexander Hamill. Excuse the vape. So Matthew Alexander Hamill disappeared on the 29th of October 2008. He is a European, his height 175 centimetres. Matthew Hamill left his place of work at 1400 hours, which is 2 o'clock on Wednesday, the 29th of October 2008. His vehicle was found parked at the Roaring Meg car park between Queenstown and Cromwell at 15:30 hours the same day. He has not been heard from since. That's very strange, isn't it? I wonder if he got out to go for a walk and hurt himself or something. That's very, very strange. Tony, thank you so much for your work with this important site. You must make a real difference for relatives of these missing souls. Thank you, Tony. I don't know. I mean, I have contact with a few families, and they've all appreciated the work that I've done and said thank you. There's a lot of families that I unfortunately can't find, and I will go ahead if I think that I've seen them in the media and they like the media talking about the case, then I'll make a video and just hope that if they see it, they recognize the compassion and the respectful way I've done it, and they'll be okay with it. I've really had no family come to me and say, get that off, or we don't like it or anything. So I've been quite lucky. Definitely not Zapton. We do not have crocodiles. We are very lucky in New Zealand for sure. We don't have those big spiders. We don't have snakes, which is all bloody great for me, I tell you. Let's William Taikato. He went missing on the 19th of December 2007. He is a Māori. Tauranga is the location he went missing from. Height 177 centimeters, build medium. Distinguishing features, tattoos on both arms. Circumstances. Last seen in Papamoa, Tauranga, William's disappearance was reported to police as family and associates had not seen or heard from him for some time, and he had not followed through with plans for Christmas in 2007. William told associates he was going to pick up his car in Welcome Bay Road, Tauranga, and was never seen again. Reference 080130/5332. I don't understand how some people can just like poof, disappear, gone, leaving nothing behind, no clues. I think one of the reasons I do this is because mysteries intrigue me. I cover unsolved murders as well because I think they also need a forum, and they also need, to keep the stories alive, to find people who have done this. But missing persons really gets me, and I think it's the intrigue and the mystery, because you just can't understand how they just gone. Catherine says, can I ask a question about Shirley Warrington? If Shirley and her husband were driving around lost and he can't remember where they were, could vital places to search have been missed? Absolutely. So when I read the article, it was saying that every day he was remembering something new. But he was in shock, and he was very vague. They actually took him into the car and they drove him around places, and he said, oh yes, I've been to Ferrymead, but he said, no, I didn't go to Sumner, or I didn't go to Littleton. So my question was, because they said that Shirley Warrington had both of them actually may have had some dementia, is what the hell were the two of them driving for? But if you've got parents who are stubborn, they might not be able to sort of make them stop, I guess. But yeah, definitely, I think there's vital places that haven't been searched, because I don't think he knows anything about that night. It seems he's very confused, which is very, very scary. Gary, I got you a coffee. I hope it went through. I'm sure it did. Thank you so much, Gary. It's really appreciated. Every little bit of help goes back into maintaining the channel, for subscriptions to newspapers and stuff like that, and maintenance. So it really makes a difference. So cheers, Gary. All right, let's go do another one. Come on, computer. Daryl Crawford. Now, interesting. He is missing from the same place as the previous guy. I've heard things online, or seen and read things online, that they're missing, both of them missing, could be involved with the same people. It might be one I could do on a live stream. I'm not sure if it's big enough for a video, but I'll definitely look more into it. So he went missing on August 2007 in Tauranga, 175 centimeters in height, slim build. Circumstances: Daryl was last seen leaving his house in Oropi, Tauranga, by friends on the 12th of August. The car he drove, a black Nissan, was located in Mountain Road, Tauranga, a few days later, but there has been no sign of Daryl since. Thanks for stopping by, Catherine. See you later. Reference number for this 070817/4429 if you have any information about Daryl Crawford. So we've only got a couple more, but we wish there was shitloads. We wish every person was on here. Jamie Gray says early onset dementia is really hard because they are so normal most of the time. Yeah, you're right. In the beginning, you're right. I've seen dementia. And obviously, they don't want to admit that they've got dementia or that things are going badly, I guess. Either they want to have a normal life and continue living the way they want to. So I understand that. This is interesting. I don't think I have anybody in Russia in my chats. Date of disappearance, 20th September 2006, Kevin Bukovsky. He's a European, went missing in Russia. Okay, I don't know how that's supposed to help us. Last confirmed sighting was when he purchased a ticket at the Tinder railway station in Russia for his onward journey. He never made that trip. That's weird. That's, I guess if we have any Russians that watch this live stream, can you look out for this guy? Kevin? It's a bit weird. But I guess he's missing, so they've got to put him on there, right? So look at Trevor Wayne Henderson. This guy, Trevor, went missing on 31st of August 2003 from Onefero, 185 centimetres, medium build. His distinguishing features: goatee beard, shaved balding head. For the circumstances: Wayne was last seen at his home on Wairamarama Road, known as Main Road, Onefero. Wayne's red Holden Commodore station wagon remained parked in the driveway at his home address after he went missing. At the time Wayne went missing, he was wearing a black removable leg cast, like a moon boot. Reference for this 030905/7322. So obviously he didn't drive his car when he went missing, so he either walked or someone picked him up. Now this is a well-known one in New Zealand, Judy York, and I have done a video of her, so if you subscribe to the channel, go and check out the video. Very, very sad. She disappeared on the 21st of October 1992. She's a Māori woman, location Tauranga she went missing from, and she's slim. Judith dropped her daughter off at her parents' house at 7 p.m. on the 21st of the 10th, 92, and said she was going to the pub and would be back to collect her daughter the next day. Judith disappeared after attending a party at Tamania Orchard in Matapihi sometime between 1 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. on the 22nd of October 92. Reference 921101/7300. But if you watch the video, there's quite a few things that go on. What was really sad was her daughter, or I think her daughter anyway, had a birthday party in the next couple of days, and her mum didn't turn up for that birthday party. So that's really sad. And I think when she didn't turn up to the party, I think her family really knew something was wrong, because she was a really good mum and she would not have shown up, you know. Hi, Stephen. Thanks for coming. So that's, yeah, really, really sad. I don't know why I say it's sad, because all of them are sad. But just as sad as in all the other ones, you know what I mean? Now, this one, if you are a New Zealander, you would have heard about this one multiple times. And this is the case of Amber Lee Cruikshank. She was only 2 years old, I think. She went missing October the 17th, 1992 from Kingston. Kingston is a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere in central Otago. It says Amber was last seen at her home address in Kingston on the shores of Lake Wakatipu. She was 2 years old. Reference 921030/2144. Now, I have made a video about this, and shitloads of people have made videos about this. Shitloads of people have done podcasts about this. The family lived in Otata. They packed up into a bus and were heading off. I'm not quite sure where they were going. They think it was that a window broke in the bus, and so they decided to stop at a mate's place in Kingston. And while they were out doing things and playing in the water and doing whatever they were doing, let's say, one person thought they were looking after Amber, and the other person thought the other person was looking after Amber, and then finally they realized that their little 2-year-old was just gone, and there wasn't many places she could go because it was so small, this place. But this happened in 1992, and here we are in 2021, and it's one of New Zealand's biggest cases. She still has never been found, or her remains have never been found, or there's been no answers. Now, for the 4th time in New Zealand history, the New Zealand police have released a $100,000 reward for what happened to Miss Amber Lee. It's produced quite a few tips, but we don't know where that's going to go. And what pisses me off is, why does it take $100,000 for people to start giving in tips and giving in information? They should just do that off their own backs, don't you think? I have run a little story about the $100,000 over Facebook, and I've had a couple of tips given to me, which I've had to give to police. Whether they are good tips, I don't know, but I'll pass them on. And it's just very, very sad. Beautiful young girl, and so long. It's been so long. And who would do that to a 2-year-old? 2-year-old. Okay, Peter Douglas Coop. He went missing on the 4th of June, 1989. He's a European from Dunedin, 185 centimetres in medium build. Peter, a doctor from Auckland, was attending a medical course in Dunedin and failed to attend his first lecture on 6th of June, 1989. So we're going back quite a while now. He was last seen at Invercargill Airport on this day by a former colleague and has not been seen by family or heard from since. This is a strange case. Reference 890-607/4992. This is a bit odd, this one, to be honest. I don't really have much to say about that. He was last seen at the airport, but then that's it. He never failed. Well, maybe he just flew somewhere else. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. Okay, I think we're on the last page. Just goes to show you how few missing persons are actually on this list. Not enough. Michael Luton. No, I haven't done a story about this guy. I don't think there was enough to do anything. Date of disappearance, 6th of March, 1987. He's a European, and he went missing from Auckland, and he's a slim build. Distinguishing fingers. No, not distinguishing fingers. Distinguishing features, maybe. Arms heavily tattooed with animals, horses, kangaroos, snakes, birds, etc. Hands tattooed with love, hate on fingers. That's pretty old school, having like love on your fingers on one hand and hate on the other one. That's pretty old school. Circumstances. Michael was last seen leaving his home address in Henderson, Auckland around 2 p.m. and has not been seen since. I mean, is that just enough information for anyone to go on? I like that they're putting information here, but it just doesn't seem like it's enough for people to do anything with, what's the point of having people on this list if you're not going to give us enough information that we can actually research more? Or I don't know. So this next one, Luana Williams. If you're a New Zealander, this is one of the biggest cases in New Zealand, and it's one that I have covered. So there is a video. Date of disappearance, 5th of June, 1986, European and Tauranga. A lot of people are missing in Tauranga. She's of medium build. Circumstances. Luana was last seen at her home in Gate Pa, Tauranga on 5th of June 1986 about 6 p.m. by her partner. When he returned to the house later in the evening, Luana was not there. The house was open and the pets were inside, which was unusual. So reference 860-606/1046. I know that when the partner came home, the pets were inside, the door was open, there was even a smoke in the ashtray that had, burnt down, I guess, and maybe a drink there as well. So she had been doing just something normal, and then boof, she's just gone. But go ahead and look at that video because it's quite interesting. Gary says, maybe you can walk yourself into a cop job doing computer work. You'd get first-hand info. Yeah. I don't know about that. Let's see. I've got a couple more. Cursor Jensen. This is another biggie. Young girl. Her disappearance, 1983 on the 1st of September. Location, Awatoto Beach, Napier, 168 centimetres, slim build. Cursor went missing on Awatoto Beach, Napier. She had been seen riding her horse along the beach and was last seen on foot, leading her horse to the gun emplacement on Awatoto Beach. Cursor was only 14 years old at the time she went missing. Very sad. 840-113/9198. It's more horrible when it's kids involved. And I do have a video of this on my channel, so definitely take a look. Stephen Harper, in Oregon, they found someone who was missing for 17 days today. Wow. Where were they that whole time then? 17 days is a long time. Let us know. Okay, a couple more. Ian Roy Baker. Date of disappearance, 16th November 1980. North Shore, medium build, and his distinguishing features. The photo of Ian shows a good likeness. Huh? I don't know what that means. Ian was last seen in the Waitemata area on 16th November 1980 and was 20-year-old when reported missing. So that's all we get. And no number or nothing. Is he not that important? I'm not sure. I'll get a link. I didn't read it. Okay. Yeah, that would be interesting. I want to know where this guy went for 17 days. That's a long time to be missing. Was it bush or something? I don't know. We're so lucky, at least, like, we know that missing people don't get mauled by bears and wild animals because we don't have any of those. So we're lucky there. Well, that was a bit sad. They didn't have much information on that guy, like the rest of them. Michael John Dudley. Now, this one has always got me, this one, but I'll show you. There's lots. No, hang on. I'll start first. Disappeared 3rd of April, 1978. So we're going back a long way. Location, Dunedin, medium build. Circumstances. Michael Dudley was working for a TV repair company in Dunedin. He had some after-work drinks with colleagues and then left in the work van, which had Bell TV on the side, to head home. He had never arrived home and he has never been seen since, and neither have the van. Now, Dunedin's got so many hills, so many valleys, and he was drinking. So I just honestly think this guy just drove over a cliff somewhere, and that's where it stayed. And no one's ever been able to get to where he is or find him. Very sad, but yeah, that's what I think happened. Reference 050923/2948. That's very, very sad. I wish so many more would be put on here. But I do have a website at I'll put it, it's in the show notes down below. And what I've started doing on there is trying to make a database of people going missing. So something like this, but with all the people, with more people. The thing is, I just haven't had a lot of time to do it for a while. It's pretty hard because I'm trying to keep hold of my YouTube channel and my Facebook page and my podcast, and I'm also studying and working. So things get a little, too much sometimes. Stephen Harper, 69-year-old man on fishing trip. Oh, so he was out fishing for 17 days. Jeez, that would have been harsh out there. Poor bugger, 69 years old. But I'm glad they finally found him. It's horrible. So, have you guys all caught up on the Delphi case? Have you watched the video I made? Gary, don't you guys have monkeys and snakes, TJs? No, we don't have them, only in zoos. Thank God for that. I am extremely scared of snakes and spiders. I'm not sure. So, and Stephen Harper, Harry Burley complained only of minor pain and is recovering at a hospital. Wow, so he's doing really good for 17 days. Good on him. He must be a tough cookie. That's nuts. So on the 23rd of July, 2 p.m, it's a Friday coming up, and it's New Zealand time, by the way. We are going to be on the next live stream, which will be with Anthony Greeno, and we're going to talk Delphi and ask him some questions, get some shit sorted out in my mind. It's going to be good, and I hope that you'll all see me there. Stephen Harper said they found him by shelters he built while he was lost. Wow. Sounds like he was really resourceful, and that's what kept him going. It's amazing. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for those who came along for my first ever YouTube stream. I really, really appreciate it. If this is a forum that you like, let me know in the comments below. Maybe it's something I could do regularly. And maybe focus on some news stories and maybe some missing people this way. Thank you, Stephen Harper. I wish you a good evening too, sir. It was awesome to have you here. Thank you, TJ. No problem, Gary. Thanks for coming. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Miss Al Rodriguez, good job. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for the people in the chat that came in to support me. It means the world to me. I will see you next time. Take care. Be kind out there. See you guys.